I'm Steve Miller reporting. United States Attorney General Jeff Sessions testified Tuesday before the Senate Intelligence Committee. The hearing focused on the Russia investigation into the 2016 presidential election and the firing of then FBI Director James Comey. Sessions began his testimony by stating that he had no contact with anyone allegedly trying to interfere with the election.
I have never met with or had any conversation with any Russians or any foreign officials concerning any type of interference with any campaign or election in the United States.
He called the notion that he may have been involved in such activities an appalling and detestable lie. Sessions said he has no knowledge of the criminal investigation being headed by Robert Mueller, the special counsel, who assumed oversight of the Russia probe after Sessions recused himself. Sessions said he has confidence in Mueller, but added that he has no idea whether President Trump does. Earlier in the day, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein assured lawmakers that without good cause, he would ignore any attempt by President Donald Trump to fire the special counsel investigating possible illegal collusion between Trump's aides and Russian officials.
It doesn't matter who the order comes from. Good cause would be based on the reasons for the proposed removal.
Rosenstein added that no such a reason currently exists. An 8-story building has collapsed in a low-income area of Nairobi, Kenya. A baby girl, a 10-year-old boy, and their mother have been pulled from the rubble. 2 people are thought to be remaining inside the debris, and 1 man is believed to be missing. The collapse came months after a government order to demolish all condemned buildings in the area and evacuate the residents. This is VOA. Fake news is nothing new, says Thomas Hanosy, Austrian ambassador to the United Nations in Geneva.
Propaganda and disinformation has always existed, but what has changed nowadays is the scale of it in our digital age, where every individual has access to the internet.
Concerns raised by the instant propagation of fake news in the digital age and the harmful impact it is having on the credibility and independence of journalism, democratic values, and human rights were examined by a panel of experts Tuesday at a side event of the United Nations Human Rights Council. Eileen Donahoe, a former U.S. ambassador to the UN Human Rights Council, called digital technology a force for good. A court in Germany has convicted 6 Syrian and Libyan refugees in connection with an attack last Christmas on a homeless man who had been sleeping on a bench in a Berlin train station. Philip Alexio has more.
Surveillance video of the incident shows the victim, a 37-year-old Polish man, sleeping on a bench under a layer of paper sheets he had been using to keep warm. The main defendant can then be seen setting the paper on fire before the group of laughing young men runs away. A train conductor and a group of passerbys quickly put out the fire before the man was seriously hurt. None of the youths attempted to help the man.
All 6 defendants entered Germany as asylum seekers in 2014 and 2016. The International Organization for Migration reported a massive case of food poisoning in a camp for internally displaced people outside the beleaguered city of Mosul. 752 Iraqis were sickened, 312 hospitalized, and at least 2 people, a child and a woman, have died. So many people fell ill, authorities ran out of ambulances and transported people by bus to hospitals, which they filled to capacity. The UN Refugee Agency reports the outbreak of food poisoning occurred in the U2 camp, which houses 6,300 displaced people from Mosul. The U.S. government has issued a rare alert Tuesday blaming North Korea for several cyber attacks stretching back to 2009. It also warned that more attacks are likely. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security identified IP addresses associated with a malware known as Delta Charlie that targeted media, aerospace, financial, and critical infrastructure sectors in the United States and around the world. North Korea has routinely denied involvement in cyber attacks against other countries. For updates to these stories and more, follow VOA News on Facebook or Twitter. You can also visit voanews.com for further stories. In Washington, I'm Steve Miller.
That's the latest world news from VOA.